Hey everybody, I just thought I would pick this very cold, windy day to stand outside and do a quick redo of my chicken myths and misconceptions video. I did one several years ago and the video quality was really poor. But anyway, I was going to address a few chicken myths because I heard somebody actually on a live stream in the comments actually parrot one of these, excuse the other bird, parrot one of these myths, and it really bugged me because it's just not true. And so I guess I'll just start out with that one. They were talking about eating chicken, and this person said she didn't like chicken, and she's just flavorless, blah 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 blah. You didn't like to eat chicken. And of course I said, well, you know, the longer I have chickens, the less I want to eat it, because, you know, I just, and they were eating sushi. One thing that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, I don't eat bait. So you can have all your raw fish you want, but I'm not eating raw fish. Ugh. You can have bait. That's bait. But anyway, so on down in the comments, somebody said, well, chickens are just dirty animals. And I thought, you never met one, did you? You never saw how much they groom themselves, did you? And if you were sat in a small pen and your filth was not cleaned out and you weren't allowed to get out and go to the bathroom, and you were stuck in there and nobody came to clean it up, and you didn't have the ability to clean it up yourself, I think it would get pretty smelly and dirty, don't you? Have you ever seen a bunch of dogs in the backyard in one kennel when nobody got the crap out of there? You know how disgusting that smells? So chickens are as clean as they want to be, and that as their keepers will allow them to be. If their environment is not managed properly, it will become dirty, and they can't help that. They don't have cleaning supplies and rakes and stuff to clean out their own pen. They don't have the ability to do that, and if you don't clean it out, it will become filthy and disgusting. Chickens are not dirty animals. They spend an inordinate amount of time grooming themselves. Even my Alice, who has a very crooked neck now. Her neck is really twisted over her shoulder. She still tries to groom herself. She's still grooming herself. She will still try to take a dust bath if she can get down there. It's been so cold and wet lately, and snowing every day lately, it seems like, that they have been stuck inside for a week. But chickens are clean animals. Their inclination is to be clean. Bless her heart, my beautiful black Americana gypsy, I miss her so much. She was my heart. She was my favorite hen, probably of all time. She died this past year at almost 11 years old. And she loved to be carried. I always said she needed a shoulder strap. But I'd pick her up and I'd bury my nose in her hackles, and she always smelled so clean and fresh. I said, you smell like dryer sheets, Gypsy. She smells so clean. She kept herself clean because I kept their environment clean, and they keep themselves clean. So no, chickens are not inherently dirty animals. If they're dirty, it's your fault, chicken keeper. So that's the first myth. The second myth is that chickens are stupid. They're dumb as rocks. Well, chickens are like anybody else. They're varying degrees of intelligence, but they are, as a whole, chickens are much more intelligent than people understand. All my chickens have names, and every one of them knows their names. Even the dumbest bird I own, my little Belgian Denver rooster Aubrey, who is, I always say he's dumb as a box of rocks. He is really the least intelligent bird that I own. Even Aubrey knows his name. I'll say, Aubrey, and he cocks his head up and he looks at me. He knows his name. They can understand basic commands. Come home, go inside, go home, go inside. When I go round them up from free ranging, I say, go home, go inside. And they know they're supposed to go back in the pen. And they, unless they're being ornery, and occasionally one will, you know, they don't want to go back in, they're having too much fun, they go home. They go back to their barn pen. They can recognize something like, I forgot what it was, something like 100 faces. They're not stupid. They're dignified, and they're more intelligent than people realize who have never had experience with chickens. Another myth, chickens attract rats. You don't want chickens, they attract rats. No. If you throw their food around on the ground, that attracts rodents. And you leave it out there, that attracts rodents. Generally, I don't throw anything on the ground unless it's a grain mix and they're right there and they're anticipating it, and I'll throw a handful on the ground and they eat it all up. I don't throw their food on the ground to rot and to get mildewed and soak up water and attract rodents. Also, you need to keep all the brush and things away from your barn, all the tall grasses and the brush piles. That needs to stay away from the barn. That will be a hiding place for rodents and snakes. But no, chickens don't attract rats. Food attracts rats, and if you keep your food in metal cans, now I've had mice actually chew through the handles of these plastic garbage cans to get in there once in a while. Very rare, but metal cans solve that problem, and usually I'll line them with a big plastic trash bag. But anyway, just put the actual feed in its bag it comes in into this metal trash can. One of the great big trash cans will hold at least 2 50-pound bags. So there's that. So it's not the chickens themselves that attract rats. It's whatever feed and the way you're managing their feed. Okay, there is that. Okay, so then we've got the hens won't lay eggs without a rooster. Oh my God. Commercial operations where they get commercial eggs, there are no roosters in there. Not on purpose. There are no roosters. They don't want non-producing birds in there. They don't want to feed and house non-producing birds. It's all about the bottom line. So the commercial operations, they have hens for laying eggs, they have hens. That's it. Think about this. A hen's egg is a product of ovulation. Can a woman ovulate without a man standing around? Oh, of course she can. Same thing. Roosters are all mean. Well, you've seen my roosters. You know that's not true. Temperament is an inherited trait. It's passed down. It has nothing to do with the way you're raising them. Roosters are, it's basically an inherited trait like any other physical trait, and it's not 100% guaranteed, but if you breed from non-human aggressive roosters, you usually get more of the same. Hatching eggs. Oh my gosh. Round eggs produce hens, pointy eggs produce roosters. Oh my God, how phallic can you get? No. Absolutely not. The shape of a hen's egg is much like, it's very much an inherited kind of thing. A lot of related hens will have similarly shaped eggs, or similarly colored eggs. For instance, I can tell my Delaware's have like a peachy tan egg. They used to. I only have one Delaware left, and she's 11 and she doesn't lay anymore. But even my hens who are descended and have some Delaware in their line tend to lay a darker egg. And you can see the Delaware, especially in Zara. You can see the Delaware in Zara. She's mostly barred rock, but she's got the Delaware in there. But no, and as far as sex of the chick, the hen in avians determines the sex of a chick, unlike in humans where it's the male. Oh, my quilt's trying to come off the wall over here. So it's hens will determine the sex of the chick, and by 5 days into incubation, the sex is already set in the chick. Also, they say that if you monkey around the temperature when you are incubating eggs, you can change the sex of the chicks. No, you can't. That's only reptiles. That has nothing to do with avian species. Like I said, by 5 days, the sex of these chicks is already set. Let's see what else we got. There's so many, you can't possibly go through them all. You know, then they've got the Easter eggers and our Americanas and our Oricanas, and they're all different names for the same thing. No, they're not. Easter eggers are not a true breed. They have mixed lineage. An Americana is a true breed with a certain standard for the breed. Look up the Americana Breeders Association. You will see the breed standard. An Oricana is even more rare, and they don't even look like an Americana. An Oricana is totally different breed. They don't have a beard like an Americana. They have ear tufts, not muffs. Tufts come out of a little organ on the side of the head. They have a couple of feathers that come out. They're totally different. Easter eggers are what most of the hatcheries sell, although a couple of hatcheries are now starting to sell true Americanas, but they have them separated from Easter eggers, which is the way it should be. I don't know what the quality of them are. You know, I haven't had any. I've had only the true Americanas from an actual breeder. Anyway, there's that one. So there's so many chicken myths. It's insane, the crazy myths. Old farmers' tales, old wives' tales. As far as the chick sexing, you know, my battery's about to go dead here. You know, they said, you know, take a ring on a string and hold it over the egg. If it goes one way, it's a hen. If it goes the other way, it's going to be a little male. Oh my gosh, here we go again. No. That's insane. Then they say if you have a chick and you don't know the sex, you hold it up by its head, and if it tucks its legs up, it's one sex, and if it lets them dangle, it's another. No, that's another old farmer's tale. You're better off flipping a coin, or just waiting and wait to see what it turns out to be, because the secondary sex characteristics come out, and then you'll know within 3 or 4 weeks what you got. But there's all kinds of myths, and it's crazy. But anyway, and there were a lot of, you know, there was a video I was watching called Unpopular Opinions, Our Unpopular Opinions. And then they started talking about chickens, and somebody said she didn't like chicken, and chickens were dirty, and, you know, it just went on. I mean, one thing led to another. It went crazy. But anyway, there's the chicken myths about chickens. There's a whole lot of other ones. The color of the eggs, like green and blue eggs are healthier. No, the color of the eggs has only to do with the breed of the chicken. That is it. Internally, they're all the same. The only thing that's different in the nutritional value of eggs has to do with what that chicken is eating. If they get out and get green forage, if they're out in pasture, you're going to get egg yolks that stand at attention, of bright orange ones with very thick viscous whites, and an eggy egg. That's what you're going to get when you get free-range chickens or chickens on pasture. And those are lower in cholesterol and higher in vitamins A and E than regular commercial eggs. But it has nothing to do with them being brown eggs or green eggs or blue eggs. It has to do with them eating better food. That's it. So there you go. I could probably sit here and think about 50 more. You know, my dad was, my grandfather had a farm in West Georgia, and my dad was raised on the farm. They raised Angus cattle. And my granddaddy had chickens and pigs and hogs, and I watched them butcher hogs and all that stuff. And, you know, my daddy, even after I got chickens, he'd say, well, you know, the hens are happier with a rooster. I'm thinking, I don't know where you get that. Some of them, like my Wendy who causes all the trouble, Wendy would rather never see a rooster again. She doesn't like any roosters, and they don't like her. So, yeah, not necessarily. Roosters can be great. They can also cause trouble. Just depends. Just depends. It's individual. It just depends. So, I have taken one for the team and stood out here and froze myself to death. Froze. It's cold. And we'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.